Jai Jagannath, Jai Shri Radhe, and today we are celebrating Srimati Radha, Radharani. We just had the Radhastami celebrations, and I want to propose these prayers to Sri Radha, variously known as Radhastuti and Radha Pranati. And I used to recite this stuti. It's very nice, and it's actually full of very interesting concepts. So let's go directly.
So you wrote this?
I don't remember. It's in one Purana, I believe, but I don't remember where it is.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
we'll find out. We'll find out. Unfortunately, there is not so much on Google, so it took me some time to find this. Looks like Radha is not very popular these days on Google. There was, there's not much in the way of, text. There is a lot of pictures because everybody loves the pictures. But the text, people, anyway. If I find out, I'll add it in the description of the video. Okay, so
Okay.
we'll start this Radha Stuti. Radha Rasheshwari Ramya Ramacha Paramatmana Rasodbhava Krishna Kanta Krishna Vakshasthalastita. Radha is the Ishwari of the Rasa. Rasa is both the Rasa Lila and the Rasas in general. So Radha is the most intimate manifestation of Yogamaya. It's the internal Shakti of happiness and pleasure of Krishna. So she is the queen, the Ishwari of all the rasas. Ramya. Ramya means that who gives pleasure, happiness, who gives joy and happiness. Ramacha Paramatmana. She is the Krishna, who is the super soul, the Paramatma. Okay. Rasodbhava. She is the ocean of rasa. Krishna Kanta. She is a lover of Krishna. Krishna Vaksha Sthalastita is always staying on the chest of Krishna, on the heart of Krishna. Okay. Krishna Pranadhi Devicha Mahavishnu Prasurapi Sarvadya Vishnu Mayacha Satyanitya Sanatani. Radha is the Devi, the goddess of Krishna's life, Krishna's prana. Mahavishnu Prasurapi. She is the Shakti of Mahavishnu. Sarvadya. The Sarvadya. Vishnu Maya cha. She's a Vishnu Maya in everything. Satya Nitya Sanatani. She is the personification of the eternal personification of truthfulness, of truth. And that is the, we see here that Radha is not just limited to the relationship with Krishna, she is also connected with Vishnu, Mahavishnu. Okay. Brahma Swarupa Parama, Nirlipta Nirguna Para, Vrindavane Tvancha, Viraja Tatavasini. Brahma Swarupa, she is the very form of transcendence. She's transcendental, supreme. Nirlipta, never touched by anything, never touched by material nature, by material gunas, and she's supreme. Vrinda, she's known as Vrinda. She's also known as Tulasi. Tulasi and Radha are actually considered the same person, especially in Puri. I have observed that Tulsi is also called Radha. Okay. She's Vrinda Vrindavane, in Vrindavana. Radha in Vrindavana. Tvamcha Viraja Tata Vasini. You reside on the bank of Viraja. What is Viraja? Viraja is not a river. Viraja is the Mahatattva, is the Karna ocean. So it's not just a normal river. Okay? Because there is no Viraja river, no river called Viraj in Vrindavan, in Mathura Vrindavan. The only river that is called Viraja is in Orissa, near Jajpur, but definitely that's not the river that is connected with Radha. So the Viraja is the ocean of the causes, the causal ocean, where Karana Dakashai Vishnu is sleeping. As usual, if you want to say something, please say. Don't hesitate to interrupt.
Sure, sure.
Goloka Vasini Gopi, Gopisha Gopa Matrika, Sananda Paramananda, Nanda Nandana Kamini, Nanda Nandana Kamini. She is a Gopi, a coward girl. Goloka Vasini, who resides in Goloka. Gopisha, she is the Gopisha Gopa Matrika. She is the mother of the coward boys. Gopisha is actually, I think it's a little weird here because she's not the Isha of the gopis. She's anyway. Here the translation: she's a queen of the gopis. Okay, let's leave it at that. Gopa Matrika, the mother of the gopas. Sananda, always happy. Paramananda, the supreme happiness. Nandana Kamini, she desires the love of Krishna, who is the son of Nanda. Vrishabhanu Sutasanta Kantapurnata Matata Kamya Kalavati Kanya Tirtaputa Sati Subha. Peace, Santa means peaceful, very peaceful person. The daughter of Vrishabhanu. Kanta Purnata Matata. She's completely satisfied. Kanta Purnata Matata. Purnatama. See, completely self-sufficient, we can say. Kanya Kalavati Kanya. She's the daughter of Kalavati. Kalavati is Radha's mother, and her grandmother is Purnamasi, right? Tirtaputa Sati Subha. She purifies the holy places. Tirtaputa. Sati, very faithful. Subha, very auspicious. Auspicious and faithful. Samsara sagare ghore bhitam mam saranagatam sarvebhyo pivi nirmuktam kuru radhe sureswari. O Radhe, who are the queen of the devas, the lady of the queen of the devas, please liberate me, free me from all the scary things, all the fears, all the terrible things in this ocean of birth and death. I am taking shelter in you. Sharanagatam. Tvad padma yugale pada padmala yarchite. Dehi mahyam param bhaktim. Bhaktim Krishnena parisevite. Dehi, give. Dehi mayam, give me. The supreme devotion, the transcendental devotion to your two lotus feet, which are worshipped by Padma Layarchite, by Brahma, and that are served even by Krishna. Parisevite, always served by Krishna. And this is the most famous Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. I offer my respect to you, Radhe or Radha, the Queen of Vrindavan. Your body is radiant with the color of the molten gold. And you are the Devi, the goddess that appeared as the daughter of Rishabhanu, and you're very dear to Hari. Mahabhava Svarupatvam Krishna Priya Variyasi Prema Bhakti Pradedevi Radhike Tvam Namamyaham. Again, I offer my respect to you, Radha. You are the very form, the very form of Mahabhava, the highest level of ecstasy in devotional sentiment. Krishna Priya Variyasi, you are the best loved by Krishna. And you can give the Prema Bhakti, the spontaneous, pure love for Krishna. So, Radhiketvam Namamyaham. I offer you my respect. Okay, so this is the Radha Pranati, Radhika Pranati, Radhastuti. We'll see, where it is from. Any question, any elaboration about this?
So, yeah, this we are speaking from a devotional perspective,
Yeah,
but when we talk from the tattva perspective, the understanding jnana behind it,
yeah,
how to understand it.
yeah,
Uh, and one more thing, this you mentioned that the Viraj is not the any river; it's the causal ocean.
yeah.
So when we talk of those things, how terms like Gopika comes there, that because these things Gopika are maybe we can talk from material perspective. Okay, somebody who's grazing cows and taking care of
That's
cows and
that's
all.
that's the
So,
funny thing. It's not material. It's just
hmm
like Krishna. Radha is not different from Krishna.
hmm
You cannot separate Radha from Krishna. Even when it seems that they are separated, actually they're not. So they're always eternally together. So just like Krishna that has a transcendental body, so the Radha also has a transcendental body. Brahma Swarupa Parama. The body of Radha is transcendental, pure spirit. So the fact that she appears to be a gopi is just like Krishna, who appears to be a Gopal, a Gopa. Now, there have been lots of elaborations about the concept of the cows here. Govinda, Gopala, Goloka, Gopi, Gopa, and so on. And if we want to, examine the various level of meaning that the word go has in the Vedic literature, we know that go is not just the cows, but it is used to indicate, it refers to the planet, Bhumi, and to the senses of the embodied beings. And in some commentary to the Veda Samhitas and the Brahmanas, the go are described as the planets and the stars, the constellations, that are moving around just like a herd of cows. This is an explanation to the famous Gomedha Yagya that the colonial Indologists falsely presented as an animal sacrifice for a cow. The cow is never going to be killed, even as an animal sacrifice. It's never happening. Never happening. So animal sacrifices are also permitted in Vedic culture, but only to some particular forms of God and under particular circumstances. The actual original yagya that was called Gomedha, like the Ashwamedha and Naramedha, they don't involve any killing. What happened in these yagyas is that the universe itself was contemplated as the Pashu. This is also explained very clearly in connection with the Purusha Sukta and the other Rigvedic hymns that are talking about this type of yagyas. And these hymns, these rigs, they say that the Purusha, the Virat Purusha, the universe, became the sacrificial animal. So obviously we are not talking about the ordinary material animal. It's a form that is meditated upon. So, like you remember in the Bhagavata Purana, we have around the beginning of the Bhagavata Purana, we have the story of Maharaj Parikshit that meets the Kali Purusha. And the Kali Purusha is beating Dharma. It's beating a bull that is actually Dharma. And the bull is accompanied by the cow that is Bhumi. This is a typical example. We cannot reduce the lila and the knowledge of the scriptures to very common, ordinary, materialistic interpretations, because we'll make a mess. This is the reason why the Shudras are not allowed to engage in this complicated and deep, ritualistic part of Vedic culture, because they read, Gomedha Yagya, okay, let's get a cow and kill the cow, But that is a Shudra mentality. You understand? So the fact that the Radha is a gopi is a very symbolic presentation. Just like Krishna, Krishna is not just any ordinary coward boy, Unfortunately, the vast majority of people are little, primitive in their thinking, So they project a lot, and especially when they use the lila of Bhagavan as an entertainment, uh, you know, product or subject. They make money out of it. This is what we call the professional reciters, and that's so dangerous because they are, they have very material motivations, and therefore they have usually very material vision, and material vision can easily distort the lila. So, sometimes you can also see people actually write complete fiction, about Shiva being an alien coming from, or Shiva being an ordinary person who was very strong, and so people started to think he was God, or, Krishna appearing again as a schoolboy, and Kamsa is the principal of the school. You saw this Roll 21,
Yes, yes.
and
I've not seen completely, but yeah, somewhat
yeah,
something
like,
heard.
okay. I saw a couple of episodes when I was there, and Krishna at some point going out to kill the animals and the robots. The animals were not even asuras, they're just normal animals, alligators specifically. And robots, he was killing robots. Where you find the robots in the Bhagavata Purana? I don't think so. And the only extraordinary thing that this child has is his flute, because he has a magic flute. So his power to do extraordinary things doesn't come from himself, but comes from the flute. And he goes to school, and it's like an Indian, school of the, 1900s, with the principal. Kamsa is the principal, And what kind of nonsense is that? I also saw a trailer for a, cartoon version, animated version of the Mahabharata. And Arjun saying, "Oh, Krishna, how could I be so stupid? I wanted to make war against Duryodhana, but see, now the army is so big, let's run away." What? That's not a good service that we are doing to the tradition of the Vedic culture. This is totally, total distortion, and presenting, all the deities like ordinary people who are jealous, lusty, envious, angry, and then what will people understand? These are just the fairy tales. It's stuff for the, small kids, people who read the Amar Chitra Katha. They give it to the kids. They don't believe, they don't think that these stories have any value. They're just, traditional folk stories, And that is what kills the, chances for spiritual progress, for understanding the Leela, for actually studying the Shastra. Because it's much easier to get their so-called knowledge from a TV serial. Because lazy people, manda sumanda mata yamanda bhagya ifadruta. Kali Yuga people are very lazy. So instead of actually studying the Shastra, They just watch some episodes from a TV serial, and I think they got, Krishna said this, Krishna said that. But, maybe not. So, same with Radha. The story of Radha Krishna is actually, Radha Krishna, the gopis, and Krishna in Vrindavan, is actually a very intimate lila that only comes towards the end of the Bhagavata Purana, 10th canto, after 9 more, the previous 9 cantos, where there's a lot of philosophy, lot of theology. And even in the 10th canto, Sukadeva keeps saying, that Krishna is a Paramatma, and the gopis are, this and that. They're not ordinary people. And there are also other, extraordinary things still in the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam. But people just want to see Radha Krishna being romantic, because they relate that with their own life. Once I remember, I was reading, there was one question they asked me on Quora: how can I get Radha Rani as my wife? Baba, what are you talking about? So we need to get a bit deeper, because it's nice. It's nice, if people who don't have sufficient, knowledge, sufficient intelligence, they are just staying on the superficial side. Okay, that's nothing bad. Even if you have a child, you can give them a Krishna doll. You can give a Radha Krishna doll, the child will play, they'll be happy. But that's not all. Krishna is not a doll. Otherwise, what's the difference between Krishna and Harry Potter? Or, I don't know, Luke Skywalker, if someone has watched the Star Wars, I don't know. What's the difference? What's the difference? So we need to go a little bit deeper and understand, that Krishna is not just a funny boy, who likes to eat butter and play with the monkeys. Just like, now we recently had this Ganesh Puja as well. And many people
Yes.
are showing, this is Ganesh Puja, Ganesh Chaturthi greetings, like that. They show Ganesh as a baby. They show Ganesh as a toddler, a very small child. Ganesh was never a child. Ganesh was born as an adult, as the Devas are born as adults. Krishna is born apparently as a child, takes the form of a child. Radha takes the form of a child. But when Krishna appeared, immediately he showed his this Narayan form to Vasudeva and Devaki. Then again he showed the form of a baby. But Ganesh was never a baby. Just imagine, people don't think, don't use the brain, because they're not encouraged to use the brain. So, just imagine Mother Parvati, shaped the Ganesh and immediately asked him to stand outside and stop anyone from getting inside while she was taking birth. How do you do that with a baby? How can you ask a baby, who was born with an elephant head, okay, how you ask a baby to stand guard at the door while you're taking birth? You understand? It doesn't make sense.
Yes.
doesn't make sense. Because people think that Shiva and Parvati are a normal family. Shiva is a man and Parvati is a lady, and they marry and they have children. Uh, Not exactly. Just like another question on Quora, someone was asking, "Oh, I want to write a fiction novel on Radha Krishna, and because the plot requires that Radha goes to live in Dwarka, so Krishna, keeps Radha as a mistress in Dwarka while he's in Dwarka with the queens." Say, no, you cannot do that. Because the whole point of Radha Krishna is to show us, to teach us about the vipralambaras, the feeling of separation. The feeling of separation that has been exemplified by Krishna Chaitanya famously, that is the vipralamba is the feeling in which we miss someone, we miss Krishna. The sambhog is also there because it's a union. And we have plenty of that, especially in the work of Jayadeva Goswami, the famous Gita Govinda. Maybe someone has asked me, should we study Gita Govinda? Yeah, well, it's not easy, because we shouldn't see it as a materialistic book and a materialistic story. It's a very romantic, actually very erotic story. And we should, we can ask ourselves why it's a favorite book of Jagannath, why it was a favorite book of Krishna Chaitanya. Krishna Chaitanya was a very strict sannyasi. And Jagannath, why is Jagannath really, he actually, there is one particular Vesha that is the Sringara Vesha that is used in the night when Jagannath retires. And the Sringara Vesha main piece is a shawl, silken shawl, we embroidered with all the verses of Gita Govinda. And in ancient times, until 100, 200 years ago, in this Sayana Arti, this Sayana Puja, in the evening, after Sandhya, the Devadasis were coming and dancing and singing the Gita Govinda. So, why is that so important? Because, boys and girls having fun, yeah, okay. And that's not just that. And this is also confusing many non-Hindus, because they think, they especially Muslims, but sometimes also Christians, especially bigoted Christians. They have this idea of, morality, which, boys and girls should never mix, only you see your wife at the day of the marriage and not before. No, absolutely no contact. Well, and then they talk about Radha Krishna. Radha was married to someone else, was married to one guy called Abhimanyu. So that is the idea of the Parakiya Madhurya Rasa. It means not Svakiya, not one's own wife, but someone else's wife. Parakiya Madhurya Rasa. So of course people are confused. They think, Krishna is not a very moral person. He was having illicit relationships with lots of women who were the wives of other people. Especially look at Radha. So he was very, very, immoral. They don't understand the point. They don't understand the idea. It's apart from the fact that in ancient times there was no bigotry regarding relationships. Okay, in the matter of couple relationships, intimate relationships, the restrictions were about not violating dharma. Dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi. The karma that is not breaking the principle of dharma is actually spiritual. And what are the principles of dharma? Satyam, dayam, socham, and tapas. Basically, where there is consensual relationship. And nobody is harmed, nobody is mistreated, nobody is, degraded. So it's, and there is some self-control, So the relationship between Radha and Krishna was totally acceptable. But more than that, it's the lila meaning, the spiritual, the transcendental meaning of the Madhurya Ras that we should think about. Because Radha, many people are saying Radha is the symbol of the jiva, the symbol of the devotee that is totally dedicated to the loving devotional service to God. But actually it's much more than that. Because Radha is Shakti. It's Hladini Shakti. It's not just a jiva. Now here is where we don't agree with Madhva, because Madhva, is saying, oh, Radha is, is just a coward girl. She doesn't understand anything. No. Radha is not just a coward girl. Radha is Shakti. Is the most intimate form of Yoga Maya. She is so powerful as Yoga Maya that Krishna is totally subjugated by Radha. Yoga Maya is so strong, so powerful that it even subjugates God. So that's the idea. How can you think she's just a gopi, coward girl? She's just a village girl. No, she's not. Just like Krishna is not just a village boy. So, we have to be very careful there, because if we project our material limitations and behaviors and motivations and mentality on the avatars, we have a problem. Because we'll think that we can also do the same thing on a material level, and those actions we perform will be automatically spiritual, because I'm doing just like Krishna is doing, So we have lots of people that are called Prakriti Sahajiya, but Prakriti Sahajiya is not a label that we stick on people who are not in our group. It's a specific mentality that is a materialistic vision of the spirit. It's a bodily identification, the identification with the present gross physical material body. For example, I was discussing with some other people about the fact that some claim that women cannot do the same, cannot have the same spiritual position that men can have in the bhakti tradition. Like, women cannot be diksha gurus. which is totally stupid because you know the only the only the most widely recognized Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is the Nityananda Parivar that has not only Janava as the main acharya after Nityananda, but it has a lot of several other women Diksha Gurus. I mean, Diksha Gurus who have a material female body, but also each and every guru of that sampradaya has taken the name of a manjari. And even the six Goswamis have taken the names of manjaris. And the Gaura Ganodesh Deepika, which is Kavi Karnapura, if I'm not mistaken, he also describes the companions of Krishna Chaitanya as manjaris. Why is that? Because if we don't become gopis, we will never be able to interact with Krishna in the Parakiya Madhurya Rasa. Even Shiva Mahadev, had to become Gopishwara. He had to take a gopi form, a female form of a gopi, to be in the Rasa Mandala. Anyone wants to actually enter the Rasa Mandala, actually contemplate the Radha Krishna Lila, the Rasa Lila, they have to give up the Purushatva. They cannot think of themselves, they cannot identify as men. Because what are men going to do in the Rasa Lila? They will be kicked out. They will be kicked out. They will become monkeys. You know the story that Mirabai once went. I think she went to see Jiva Goswami. And
Yes.
you know the story, yeah?
Yes. Yes.
And Jiva Goswami, someone
Yeah.
told Jiva Goswami, Baba, there is a lady here who wants to see you. And Jiva Goswami said, I'm not going to see any women. Not, why should I see a woman? And the guy reported to Mirabai. Mirabai said, I didn't know that there would be any other man, except Krishna, especially in Vrindavan. Where is the man? I don't think that there will be another man. So that's the idea. So unless we get into this mentality, because we are Prakriti, we are Dasi, we are all Dasi. There is the famous song to Tulasi Arati, that we are praying to Tulasi, which is Radha again, please make me your maid servant. And that is chanted and sung by everybody. It doesn't matter if they have a male or female body in this material level, because the material body is irrelevant. We can approach Krishna only in our Siddha Deha. So the Siddha Deha is made of rasa, rasatmana. It's if we don't develop a transcendental body, a Siddha Deha, we cannot really interact with Krishna. We are just, practicing. We are just in the Vaidhi Bhakti, in the sadhana bhakti, but we cannot really get in touch with Krishna personally, directly, because that's something we cannot do just in this material body. We need to develop a Siddha Deha. I don't know, is that clear?
Yes.
Did that, did I answer your question?
Uh, Yes, in a way, like long explanation, but yeah,
Yeah,
we can correlate. But
we
yeah, this
went,
is
yeah,
not
out
material.
of the way also,
Hmm.
but no, I think it's important, because we cannot limit God. Most people try to limit God, to define God, so that they believe they can understand God better, but that's simply not the way. So anyway, okay. Any other question, doubt, objection, further
No,
elaboration, suggestion? So,
no,
ah,
no. I'm saying yeah, we discussed clean, like in detail
a
how
lot.
to.
We
Hmm.
discussed a lot. So thank you so much. We give pranam to Vrinda and Vrindavana. Vrindavane Twamcha. And we hope to be blessed with Prema Bhakti, and with the understanding of the transcendence. Mm. Okay, we're always hoping. Okay. Okay, thank you. So we go to the
Thank you.
next time. Jai Jagannath.
Yeah.
Jai
Jai
Radha.
Jagan. Jai.